Yo guys, welcome to the Zelda fiction. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto fell in love with Tsunade? Part 3. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Same day. Naruto and Tsunade left the Tsuchikage's mansion in a very good mood. Both were laughing as they remembered the look of shock on Inoki's face. As they walked through the village, they went back to the house that had been prepared for them. Man, Tsunade-chan, I can't believe his reaction to that, Naruto said as he smiled. Tsunade could barely control her laughing as she nodded. I know, it was priceless, she said as she held his hand. To think that lie actually worked, Naruto said to her. Tsunade stopped laughing and looked at Naruto. His face suddenly turned sad at the thought that Naruto didn't take her words seriously. Naruto turned around to see Tsunade's sad face and ran up to her. Tsunade-chan, what is the matter? Naruto asked. Tsunade looked at him and hugged him, surprising the blonde. Naruto-kun, I hope you know that I wasn't lying when I said that, Tsunade told him as Naruto's eyes widened. Are you serious? Naruto asked her with a glimmer of hope. Tsunade looked at him and chuckled. Of course Naruto-kun, I love you, why shouldn't I spend the rest of my life with the person I love? Tsunade said with a rhetorical question. Naruto looked down at the ground and smiled. Though the smile wasn't seen by Tsunade, who entered her own thoughts. Oh no, what am I going to do? I just told him that, is he going to hate me? She thought as she looked at Naruto. As Tsunade was about to speak, she squealed as she realized she was lifted up by Naruto and came into his arms. Tsunade blushed as she looked at his face. Naruto didn't speak, instead he ran to the house much to Tsunade's astonishment. Shinobi house. As Naruto got home, he took of his and Tsunade's shoes. He then looked at her and smiled brightly. Tsunade looked confused as Naruto had carried her all the way from the village to their house. Naruto immediately took off for his room. As he entered his room, he gently placed Tsunade on her feet in his room. Naruto-kun, Tsunade was interrupted when Naruto ran out of the room. A few seconds later, Naruto came back and had a sign. He placed it on his door and closed it. After Naruto calmed down, he took a deep breath. After the breath, Naruto looked up and smiled. Tsunade-chan. Naruto yelled as he pounced on her. As they both fell to the floor, Naruto's lips met hers and brought his arms around her. Tsunade was surprised by the action, but nonetheless submitted to the kiss. After Naruto broke the kiss, Tsunade had on a confused expression as she looked at her blonde. What was that for, Naruto-kun? Tsunade asked. Naruto smiled as he wrapped his arms around Tsunade. I am happy, you weren't playing, you would really want to marry me, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade looked at him and smiled. Of course I would, I love my fox-ama, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled as he leaned his face dangerously close to hers. Then let me show you some love, Naruto said as with a smile. Tsunade's face suddenly grew dark red as she heard his statement. Tsunade didn't have the time to respond as Naruto brought his lips to hers and enjoyed their sweet taste. Tsunade felt Naruto's strong muscles wrap around her as she knelt to his lap. Naruto decided to have some fun as his tongue intruded into Tsunade's mouth. Tsunade's eyes grew wide as she realized Naruto's action. Soon she registered the motion and closed her eyes again. Naruto's tongue nurtured hers, and the two swirled around in the mouths of the lovers. Tsunade's face was getting redder as she felt his passion wash over her. Tsunade had come to help weakness every time she was in his arms. Her eyes would go weak from the feeling. Soon Naruto broke the passionate moment between the two as they looked in each other's eyes. Tsunade-chan, will you let me show you my love? Naruto whispered in her ears. Tsunade's face grew even more red as she struggled to find her voice. Love me, Naruto-kun, I want you to love me, Tsunade said to him. Naruto complied as he began. Oh Kami, I love him, thank you so much for this, Tsunade said in her thoughts. Naruto turned to her and smiled. Tsunade smiled back. She couldn't hold it anymore. A few weeks felt too long. She was going to show her surprise to Naruto today. Naruto-kun, I have a surprise for you later today, I know you will enjoy it, Tsunade said to him. Naruto looked at her in confusion and smiled. And I have a surprise for you later, Tsunade-chan, you will be surprised, Naruto said to her. Tsunade looked at him in confusion. Then she smiled and nodded. I look forward to it, Tsunade said as the two of them fell asleep on the floor. Naruto soon followed as the two slept quietly in Naruto's room. Back in Konoha. Danzo was feeling more and more frustrated with Naruto and Tsunade. He spent nearly every resource available to find them, but they disappeared from the eye of every Konoha shinobi. Whenever Danzo sent out shinobi to capture the demon and his protector, they would either be defeated or would say they couldn't find them. Danzo felt the patience of Konoha's citizens slipping every day. He had always heard the rants of people for Naruto's death or for his head on a platter. The way the two avoided him was staggering. As Danzo sat in his chair, someone came through the door. Danzo-sama, how has the search for that lame piece of trash in Tsunade? A pink-haired girl asked her Hokage. Danzo sighed. I don't know what to tell you, Sakura, they have disappeared, but rest assured, we will find them and we will kill them both, Danzo said with a chuckle. Sakura smirked also. She was finally happy to her that they would kill them. The way she figured it, the reason Sasuke left was because of Naruto. If Naruto died, then her precious Sasuke-kun would come back to her. Sakura cracked her knuckles. Oh, I am looking forward to their deaths, then Sasuke-kun will come back, Sakura said with a slight blush. Danzo sweat dropped. Even if they did kill Naruto and Tsunade, he wasn't going to allow that brat of an uchiha back into the village. Danzo simply nodded as Sakura left in a good mood. Danzo suddenly smirked as she left. Dream on, fangirl, that uchiha is never getting back into these walls, Danzo said in his thoughts as he sat in his chair, thinking of where the demon spawn and Sannin could have gone. As Sakura left the mansion, she walked down the streets of the darkened Konoha. Life went by as usual, except people were a lot more cruel to each other. Crime seemed to be the main thing appearing the most in Konoha. Because a majority of shinobi resigned as shinobi, the crimes increased. Of course, that didn't stop some civilians from protecting the weaker ones. Hey, you trash, why are you trying to assault that woman? Kakashi asked with a glare. The man laughed as he held the woman. At your own fish, man, this flower is mine, he said as he licked the side of her cheeks. Kakashi closed in on the man and took out a kunai. I guess you don't want that tongue then, Kakashi said as he sped so fast that the man didn't see what happened. The man suddenly screamed as he saw blood drop from his mouth. Damn you, he yelled as he screamed. Kakashi stabbed him with the kunai as he fell down dead. He went to the woman and held out his hand. Are you okay, miss? He asked. The woman nodded and took his hand. Thank you very much, she said as she ran off. Kakashi sighed. This shouldn't be an everyday thing, Kakashi said to himself. He, Asuma, Guy, Kurenai, Anko, Hana and Yugao all agreed to try and keep the crime rates down as an act of self-interest. They seemed to be doing a good job, but the crimes just kept coming. Ever since you two left, this place has become so dark and gloomy, it is nerve-wracking, Kakashi said as he shoeshined out of the area. Back in Iwa, 4 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade groggily got up as they saw it was nighttime. They got dressed and headed out of the room. As they made their way to the meeting hall, they came to see everyone sitting in a circle in the room. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked. Everyone looked at Naruto and smiled. Oh, nothing, it's just that as we walked back to the house we all heard you, Kiba said to them. Both blushed. They didn't know they were being so loud. Jiraiya got up and put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Good job, my pupil, good job, I am so proud, Jiraiya said as he comically cried. Tsunade grew a vein as she punched Jiraiya to the floor. Everyone sighed and turned back to the circle. Tsunade smiled. Well, Naruto-kun, I will give you my surprise now, Tsunade said with a smile. Everyone's ears perked up at the new information. Naruto smiled as he waited. Everyone shifted their gazes to Tsunade, who walked over to a side of the room. Shizune became wide-eyed. Tsunade-sama, are you going to use that now? Shizune asked. Everyone turned to each other and looked back. They were more than interested this time. Use what? They all wondered as Tsunade smiled. Tsunade shook her head. Yes, I am, Tsunade said as she did her hand signs. Soon chakra appeared around her body as she closed her eyes and concentrated. All those medical books and all that research with Shizune led up to this point. Tsunade smiled as she focused on her new jutsu. She knew this was going to be a permanent change, but she could deal with it. As the chakra picked up, everyone had to cover their eyes. Everyone except Niji, who activated his Byakugan. What he saw shocked him. He saw Tsunade's muscles, her body, her organs, everything was getting smaller. Tsunade smiled as she got all the required chakra. Okay, for Naruto-kun, Tsunade thought to herself. Tsunade opened her eyes and yelled. Ninpo. Jidai no Kami no Gyakuten ninja art. God's reversal of age, Tsunade yelled as a bright light flowed around her, brightly blinding everyone with its light. Everyone closed their eyes as they waited for the light to die down. After 7 minutes of an intense light, the rays slowly disappeared. Naruto and his friends looked up and what they saw brought their mouths to the ground. Tsunade-chan, is that really you? Naruto asked. Yes, Naruto, this is me, Tsunade said with a smile. Naruto's mind tried to process what happened. That isn't a henge? Naruto asked again. No, this isn't, it is real, Tsunade said to him. Naruto could nearly faint. 7 minutes ago, a woman in her 50s was before him, but now a woman in her early 20s was standing in front of him. How did you, he tried to ask. Tsunade smiled. I would love to explain, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled, but he stopped before she could talk. Tsunade now had a confused look. Naruto could tackle her right now, but it was his turn. He turned to his friends. "Anyone would you take a giant leap with me?" he asked them. Everyone looked at each other. Some were skeptical, but they all complied. "Alright Naruto," they all said as they got up. Naruto nodded. "Just so you know there is no going back, will you still do this with me?" Naruto asked them. Everyone felt their determination waver for a bit but stood steadfast and nodded. "Bring it on," they said to him. Naruto smiled. "Alright, it might hurt a bit," he told them. Everyone complied nonetheless. Naruto turned to Tsunade. "Tsunade-chan, what I am about to do is my surprise to you, but it will hurt me and my friends, but you must promise me that you won't interfere with this," Naruto told her. Tsunade thought. She didn't want to see Naruto hurt, but he seemed so sure of himself. Tsunade grumbled, but complied. Shizune nodded also, and so did the now awake Jiraiya. Naruto nodded. "Right, you guys gather around me," he said as his friends all came around him. Everyone took a deep breath and was ready for whatever Naruto had for them. Naruto smiled as he mentally signaled Hina. "Is everything in order, Hina-chan?" Naruto asked. Hina smiled though Naruto couldn't see it. "Ready when you are, Naru-kun," Hina said to him. Naruto smiled and nodded. "Okay, let's do it," Naruto told her as he clasped his hands. Hina smiled as she clasped her hands also. Soon Yaki was flowing out of Naruto's body. Naruto could see himself and his friends take in the aura as it disappeared into them all. Naruto breathed as he knew what was next. Hina smiled. "Well, good luck with the pain, Naru-kun," Hina said to him. Naruto chuckled. Tsunade saw the red chakra go into Naruto and his friends as they three adults waited patiently. Soon all the presence of the Yaki disappeared. Everyone wondered what type of pain was coming. Naruto opened his eyes. "Now," he thought. As soon as he said those words, himself and everyone fell to the floor in pain. Everyone trembled as they felt like their bodies were getting ripped in two. Tsunade was mentally shocked. She wanted them to stop, but remembered Naruto's words. She held fast to those words and waited. Shizune and Jiraiya didn't interfere, though every urge in their bodies told them to. After 5 minutes, the group was still on the ground as they felt the tremendous pain in their bodies. The Yaki was breaking down their bones and muscles and was replacing it with new longer ones. Every 30 seconds, the new bones grew and decayed, replacing the old ones. Everything was being broken down and replaced at the molecular structure. Everyone was downright exhausted from the screaming and the pain. The pain for them was nearly unbearable, but they all tried to persevere. After nearly 2 hours, a little shined over everyone as Tsunade, Shizune, and Jiraiya covered their eyes. After 5 minutes the light faded. The three opened their eyes. "Naruto-kun, is that really you and your friends?" Tsunade asked. Shizune stared wide-eyed at what she saw. Jiraiya looked awestruck also. Everyone in the group smiled. "Yeah, Tsunade-chan, it is me and my friends," Naruto told her. Same day. Tsunade, Shizune, and Jiraiya were all staring at the surprise Naruto had shown them. Tsunade was drooling at the sight. Shizune held taunton and was wide-eyed. Jiraiya had his mouth to the floor, trying to contemplate what happened. Naruto and his friend smiled as they stepped out of the light. "Naruto-kun, is that really you?" Tsunade asked. Shizune and Jiraiya nodded with the same curiosity. Naruto smiled as he stepped forward. "Yes, Tsunade, it is me and my friends," Naruto said to her. The three adults could faint. The last thing they remembered were 13 to 14-year-old kids in the room undergoing unimaginable pain, but now stood Naruto and his friends in their late teens. Everyone smiled as they looked over the changes. Everyone's outfit from a few minutes ago were gone and were replaced standard Iwa shinobi outfits. Naruto smiled as he talked to Hina. "Hina, why did it have to be Iwa? You could have been creative," Naruto said to her. Hina smiled as she sat on her bed. "Well, Naru-kun, I was tired and didn't feel like going through all the process of making clothes," Hina said with a smile. Naruto mentally laughed. "Well, in any case, I thank you for what you have done," Naruto said to her. Hina smiled and nodded though Naruto couldn't see it. "My pleasure, Naru-kun," Hina said to him. Naruto nodded and disconnected from Hina. While she laid on the fine leather with a kit, she went to her own thoughts. "Man, that kami-like body is amazing. Tsunade, you better enjoy, Naru-kun, cause if you mess up I am pouncing on that kami of a man," Hina said in her thoughts. Naruto walked up to Tsunade as he measured their height. He was happy to say he was now about her height. His eyes connected to hers. He didn't have to look up at her anymore. She didn't have to bend down to kiss him. Tsunade for once could see clear into his eyes. His eyes entranced her, showing their azure color. As Tsunade took in his form, she could only heavily blush at it. The muscles, the abs, the hot body. Everything made Tsunade nearly fainted from his presence. "So Haim, how do I look?" Naruto asked as waiting for her opinion. Tsunade snapped out of her gaze and looked at Naruto. Tsunade only stood silent for a minute to look at him some more. After that minute, Tsunade rushed Naruto and kissed him as they fell to the floor. Tsunade gave Naruto one of the deepest kisses he had ever felt. After she broke the kiss, Tsunade looked at her blonde and smiled. "This man, this kami-like body, it is all mine," Tsunade shouted up and down in her thoughts. Naruto smiled as Tsunade allowed him to get up. After everyone took a breather to examine the changes, they all sat on the floor with Tsunade leaning on Naruto. Now was the time for questions. "Explain now, Mr. Tsunade said with a grin. Everyone nodded and turned to Naruto. Naruto smiled. "Seeing as how you went first, you should explain first time," Naruto told her. Tsunade looked at him and smiled. "Yeah, alright, I suppose that is fair," she said to him. Everyone turned to Tsunade as she began. "The day that me and Naruto-kun went back to Konoha for my medical books was all for the purpose of this jutsu. It is able to take the chakra in one's body and makes the cells in the body reverse their roles. This caused the body to move backwards in age. The body and all of its contents are reduced to the desired age of the person who uses this jutsu. It also allow the user to keep their current chakra reserves and power. It is a great anti-aging jutsu. Only myself and Shizune can use it, as we are the only ones who made it. The only drawback is that it requires a large amount of chakra to do." Tsunade finished talking as she looked at everyone's reaction. Everyone was rather impressed with her jutsu, especially Ino, Hinata and Temari. "Well, that is certainly a handy jutsu, Haim," Naruto said as he broke the silence. Tsunade ruffled his hair as she leaned on him. "I made it for us, Naruto-kun," Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled. "And I am very happy that you did," Naruto told her. Everyone nodded. Soon all eyes were on Naruto for his explanation. Naruto gulped at the intense stares from the group as he explained. "Well, to sum everything into words, I am able to talk to the QB. Her name is Hina," and Naruto was stopped by Kiba. "You can talk to the QB?" he asked. Naruto nodded. "That's right, I think this is for all Jinchuriki, right Gaara?" Naruto asked. Gaara smiled and nodded. "That is right, all Jinchuriki are able to speak with their Bijuu," he explained. Everyone nodded. "Alright, Naruto-kun, continue please," Shizune said to him. Everyone nodded. Tsunade felt a bit uneasy with someone else calling her blonde, Naruto-kun, but since it was Shizune she let it go. Naruto smiled as he continued. Before he did, Jiraiya spoke. "But isn't the QB male?" he asked. Everyone sighed. They just wanted Naruto to explain the jutsu to them. Naruto turned to Jiraiya. "No, Jiraiya, the QB is female, is that a problem?" Naruto asked. Jiraiya shook his head. No, it's just that I figured the strongest Bijuu in the world would be male," he said to them. Tsunade, Shizune, Hinata, Temari, Ino, and Hina all grew a vein on their heads as they heard Jiraiya's comment. "Naruto-kun, tell that pervert that he would do well to remember who he is talking about," Hina said to Naruto. Naruto smiled. "Jiraiya, Hina just said to watch your mouth or she will show you personally why she is the strongest Bijuu," Naruto told him. Jiraiya stiffened. He didn't want to be on the receiving end of that much torture. "Got it, I will be quiet now," Jiraiya said to them. The girls smirked and nodded their heads. Neji sighed. "Now Naruto, please finish," Neji said to him. Naruto nodded. "Anyway, as I was saying, when Tsunade-chan and I got together, I also wondered about the age difference and felt it would be a problem. Suddenly I got the idea of having Hina help me in my problem. I asked her if she could do anything about it. She said that it was possible for her, but it would take some preparation for her. So I allowed her to do the necessary things in order to get ready. When she told me she was ready to go, I consented. I felt it would be weird for me to be the only one of the genin to age, so I asked if the others wanted. They all consented and we got her. Hina's Yaki was able to float out of the seal and enter everyone's body. From the inside, the Yaki was destroying and reviving the body. It would destroy and rebuild all of the contents of the body, making it taller to the desired age. We all have two bodies of 19-year-olds, but our mental age doesn't change, we are all still 13 to 14 years old in our minds." Naruto finished as he looked at the reaffirming grins. Everyone smiled as they got up. "Yeah, I am tall," Tenten said to herself. The group was happy as they all looked over their bodies again. Naruto forgot one more thing. "Oh, and guys," Naruto said to them. Everyone stopped gazing at their bodies and turned to Naruto. "Hina just told me something, she said that your stamina and your power have just doubled," Naruto told them. Everyone jumped for joy, but suddenly felt very tired. "Oh man, I had so much energy, why am I so tired now?" Kiba asked. Naruto smiled. "Oh, that is because of the process to get that body, wouldn't you be tired after being in pain and screaming for more than 2 hours?" Naruto asked. Everyone face faulted and nodded. "Yeah, that is true, well I am dead tired, I am going to bed," Neji said to them. Everyone nodded and went off to their respective rooms. Naruto laughed as he heard them all yawn in exhaustion. As he laughed, Naruto began to yawn also, which caused Tsunade to smile. "You tired, Naruto-kun?" Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled. "I suppose I am, 2 hours of pain does that to someone," Naruto said to her. Tsunade chuckled. "Then let's go to bed, it is pretty late now," Tsunade said to him. Naruto yawned one more time, then smiled. "Yeah, let's go home," Naruto told her. Tsunade nodded as she helped her man up and the two walked out of the room. Jiraiya and Shizune soon followed out. As everyone went to bed, sleep suddenly claimed everyone. Naruto and Tsunade fell asleep, but before they did Naruto turned to Tsunade. "I did this for you, Tsunade-chan, I love you," Naruto said with a sleepy smile. Tsunade chuckled as she laid in her blonde's arms. "I love you too, Naruto-kun, I am glad you did this for me," Tsunade said as she fell asleep. Naruto stayed awake for one more good night. "Again thank you, Hina-chan, good night," Naruto told her. Hina smiled as she also climbed in bed. "You are always welcome, Naruto-kun, good night," she said as she dozed off. Naruto smiled as sleep claimed all in the shinobi house. Next morning. Naruto woke up to the cloudy village of Iowa. Being at the mountains, clouds were a common thing. As he got up, Naruto looked at the clouds. "I guess this place is perfect for Shikamaru," Naruto said to himself. Naruto turned to see his new blonde in the bed sleeping soundly. Naruto smiled as he gave her a quick kiss which caused her to squirm. "Naruto-kun, I love you," Tsunade said in her sleep. Naruto chuckled. "A month ago, I would think that she would have said those words to me," Naruto said to himself. Naruto left the room and went to go get washed. As he went out, he saw the guys get up too. "Oh, it seems that all the guys are up," Naruto said with a smile. Everyone nodded. "Yeah, I haven't slept that good in a while," Kiba said as he stretched. Everyone nodded. All the guys laughed as they entered the washroom. The bathroom was pretty big. It was able to fit multiple people in the bath. To all the guys, it wasn't a bathroom, it was a hot spring. Everyone took their towels and went inside. As they guys got comfortable, they all decided to talk. "I still can't believe I will let us stay," Shikamaru said to them. All the guys nodded. "I know, it makes me wonder at times," Nichi said. "Well, we are safe from Konoha at least," Choji said to them. Everyone happily nodded. "No kidding, that place must be downright terrible now," Kiba said to them. "Yeah, but there still are a few good people there, I guess," Naruto defended. Everyone looked at him and looked down. "Yeah, it had its good people, didn't it?" Kiba said to them. Everyone nodded. Soon everyone started thinking about their past lives. Suddenly, Naruto's eyes shot up. "Oh yeah, I never got to ask," Naruto said to them. Everyone looked at him in confusion. Naruto turned to Gaara. "Gaara, why are you, Kankuro and Temari here?" Naruto asked. Everyone's eyes shot open. That was a very good point. Gaara sighed. "Well, I would have to say that I wasn't very much liked in Suna either, they are probably looking for us also, but it doesn't matter. I talked to Shikaku and he is quite an okay guy when he wants to be. He said I could just unleash him and he will just use a giant sand burial and kill them," Gaara said with a smile. Everyone laughed. "Sounds about right," Naruto said to him. "Take that, Suna," Kiba said to them. All the guys laughed as they decided to leave. They had stayed in the shower long enough. As Kiba reached for the door. He opened it to the wrong person. "Well, I think it's time to go, let's go get something to eat, oh," Kiba said as he opened the door to see Temari undressing. Kiba looked to see Temari had on some red panties and red bra as she looked at Kiba in shock. Kiba quickly closed the door and looked at the guys. "Everyone, I regret to inform you that Temari will kill me," Kiba said with horror in his face. Everyone looked confused as Shikamaru opened the door. He saw Temari with her giant fan as she saw the fan unleashing a gust of wind. "Pervert," Temari yelled as the burst of wind hit Shikamaru, who was sent flying. As he landed in the water, Shikamaru sighed as he sank to the bottom. "This is why women are troublesome," Shikamaru said as he passed out. All the guys looked at Temari. Temari saw Kiba and ran after him. "Get back here, Kiba, it's time for yours," Temari said as she chased Kiba. Kiba was able to maneuver past Temari and got to the door and closed it. Temari ran after Kiba, leaving all the guys stunned. "I will pray for you, Kiba," Naruto said as he clapped his hands and said a prayer. All the guys did the same and left the washroom. As Kiba ran through the house, he didn't realize he was still in his towel and he crashed into an unsuspecting Hinata. "Ouch, that hurt," Kiba said as he felt something in his hand. The thing was soft and squishy. Kiba looked up and gasped. He had ran into Hinata. As Temari came, she had a greater look of shock. You damn pervert," Temari said to him. Kiba flinched. Hinata woke up with something on her chest. She adjusted her eyes and saw Kiba on her. "Kiba-kun, what are you?" she said as she looked down. She saw Kiba's hand on her chest as she screamed. Everyone heard the scream and ran for Hinata. As everyone came, they all gasped. "Kiba, how could you?" Choji said to him. I expected more from you, Naruto said. Lady Hinata, what did you do, dog boy? Neji said as he charged at him. Kiba backed into a corner. No, it was an accident, I am sorry, Kiba said as Temari and Neji ganged on him. Kiba's screams could be heard throughout the village. 30 minutes later. Breakfast was eaten in silence, as a blushing Hinata struggled to eat. Temari ate with a scowl at Kiba. Shikamaru ate with a bandaged head. Kiba ate with many bandages on his face. As everyone ate, Tsunade and Naruto decided to go for a mission. Well, we will be back later, everyone behave, especially you Kiba, Tsunade said with a snicker. Naruto nodded as the two went off. Tsuchikage Mansion. Inoki was busy doing paperwork as he finally got over the situation last time. Those two got me good, oh well, he said as he continued. Soon Naruto and Tsunade came in. Hey, can we request a mission? Naruto asked. Inoki looked up. He was confused. Who are you two? He asked. Naruto and Tsunade looked at each other and smiled. Oh, that's right, we didn't tell him, Tsunade said to her fiancé. No, I guess we didn't, Naruto told her. After a lengthy talk of explaining their appearances, Naruto and Tsunade got back to the reason they were there. So can we request a mission? Naruto asked. Inoki nodded. Yeah, fine, you will get an A rank mission, Inoki said to them. Why is it so high? Tsunade asked. Not that she couldn't handle an A rank, but she was worried about her blonde. It is that high because I know you two are that strong, or at least I trust that much, he said to them. Both smiled and nodded. Good, this will be an investigation mission, I want you to go to Kumo, I had a rumor that Orochimaru is there, it can't be good, he said to them. Both agreed and nodded. Anyway, to find Orochimaru was always good to do. Good, you leave in an hour, he said to them. Both nodded and bowed. As Naruto left, Tsunade turned to Inoki. But why Naruto? She asked. Because I believe that Sasuke might be there with Orochimaru, Inoki said to her. Tsunade understood now. It was about Sannin versus Sannin and Genin versus Genin. This was undoubtedly an S-rank mission. Tsunade decided not to pester and left to get ready for the mission. Inoki smiled. I can't wait to hear the results of this one, he said as he continued his paperwork. The Wagakure. Naruto and Tsunade just left the Tsuchikage's mansion and went home to pack for their mission. Both went through their thoughts about meeting with Orochimaru and Sasuke. A meeting with Orochimaru, I wonder if he will recognize little old me, Tsunade thought with a grin. Naruto was also in his own thoughts over the mission. Man, why do I have to meet with the team? He has the blessing of all of Konoha even after his betrayal, Naruto thought to himself. As the blondes walked through the village back to their house, both looked at the other and smiled. This is going to be fun, I can't wait to beat the crap out of the team, Naruto said to Tsunade. Tsunade nodded with a smile. I can't wait to show Orochimaru the new me, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled for two reasons. One, for the reaction the two would get from him and Tsunade, the second, from knowing he would use his new jutsu on the team. As Naruto and Tsunade entered the house, they saw everyone sitting at the table eating their food. Everyone, me and Naruto are going to be gone for a few days, we have a mission, Tsunade told them. Everyone looked at them then back at their food. So what type of mission is it? Jiraiya asked, curious of the details. Naruto smiled as he held out his thumb. It is an S-rank mission, Naruto said to them. Everyone became wide-eyed and spit out their food. Kiba looked at Naruto. Why do you get an S-rank mission, what about us? Kiba said with a finger of accusation. Tsunade smiled. It's because we know the assailants personally, Tsunade said to them. Kiba backed away and sat down, muttering things like lucky bastards under his breath. So who are you going up against? Hinata asked. Naruto and Tsunade's smile wavered as they wondered if they should say. Everyone looked up from their meals in angst. So who are you going to be facing? Neji asked. Everyone nodded their heads in anticipation. Tsunade breathed a sigh as did Naruto. Orochimaru. And Sasuke, they said to the group. Everyone turned silent as they processed the news. Jiraiya immediately got up in protest. No way, out of the question, you both can't do that, not by yourselves, Jiraiya said in anger. Naruto and Tsunade shook their heads. We are the only ones who can, Jiraiya, Tsunade said in defense. Let someone else do it, you both could die, Shizune said to them. The thought of losing Naruto and Tsunade was too much to bear for her. Tsunade sighed. Shizune, I am a Sannin and Naruto Koi is a Jinchuriki, we will be fine, we aren't going to die, Tsunade said to them. Naruto gave them a reassuring grin. I will never let my Hime die, I swear it, Naruto told them. Tsunade blushed at the comment. And I am not letting Naruto Koi die, I swear it, Tsunade said to them. Everyone sighed as they nodded. Shizune and Jiraiya reluctantly nodded. If you die, I will bring you back and will show you how much being dead a joy, Shizune said to them. Both nodded and went to their room to pack. As they packed, they got on their battle clothes and went out of the house. Gates of Iowa. Naruto and Tsunade headed to the gates of Iowa. As they passed by they said goodbye to the gate guards. Both smiled as they walked out of Iowa. Well Naruto-koi, are you ready to track down a snake? And she was interrupted by her blonde. And an emo Haim? Naruto asked. Tsunade laughed at the insult to Sasuke. Yes Naruto-koi, and an emo, let's go, Tsunade said to him. Naruto nodded. He gave her a quick kiss and the two left for their mission. Some of the villagers waved them goodbye and good luck on their mission. To everyone the group of Konoha had made the village more lively. Everyone was a lot more cheerful and even took more training seriously. The village itself wasn't so uptight anymore. People were actually starting to have fun thanks to the Konoha group. Naruto had made the most of an impression on everyone there. Sure everyone now knew he was the son of their most hated enemy, but they saw Naruto for himself and not just the Yondaimei's kid, so no one held any prejudice about him. 4 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade were jumping through the trees at great speeds. Each was enjoying the feeling of the new body that they had. It seemed relatively easy to use. Not many difficulties as far as motor function and chakra control. Everything was working perfectly. As the group got up to a town near Kumo, they took the time to gather any info they could get out of people for their quarry. Hey Tsunade-chan, let's go into that bar, maybe we can get some info, and it will be like a mini date, Naruto told her. Tsunade looked at the place and nodded. Alright, let's go, Naruto-koi, Tsunade said as they stepped inside. As they sat at a table, both ate some food as they listened to people talk. They were especially interested in one particular conversation. Okay, that weird snake guy has asked us to bring the Pakage, we deliver it 15 minutes, a man said to his friends. Everyone nodded in agreement and got up to leave. Naruto and Tsunade smirked. Well it seems we have found our snake Haim, Naruto said to her. Tsunade formed a smile and nodded. Well let's not keep our victims waiting, let's go Naruto-koi, Tsunade said to him. Both got up and ran after the men making sure to keep their presence hidden. After 2 hours of trailing, Naruto and Tsunade stopped about 4 trees away from the meeting spot. You ready Naruto-kun? Tsunade asked. Naruto smiled. I'm always ready Haim, Naruto said to her. Both got ready for their fight. 25 minutes later, no snake or emo. 1 hour later, still nothing. Damn how long does it take for that damn snake to show up? Naruto asked. Tsunade nodded her head. I don't know, Orochimaru, and he is never really late, Tsunade said to him. Both decided to wait a bit longer. 25 minutes later. As both were about to leave, a shadowy figure came into the distance. He was over to the group to see the bandits in the correct spot. He walked over to the 3 men along with a man who was quite tall. He had black hair and who an attire similar to the Sound Ninja 4 that Naruto had faced before. Naruto looked at the man. Is that Sasuke? Naruto wondered. Tsunade wondered the same thing. Naruto was still mentally 13, so Sasuke should have still been 13 also or at least 14. Maybe he went through some enhancement when he went to Orochimaru. Tsunade wondered. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. Oh well we will find out later, let's get ready, Naruto told her. Tsunade nodded. Orochimaru and Sasuke went down as they saw the men. Fukuku, so the delivery was a success. Orochimaru said to them. The men scoffed. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't, one of them said to him. Orochimaru laughed. No I guess not, here is your money, Orochimaru said with a large sum of cash. The men drooled over the money. One of the guys tossed his scroll to Orochimaru and he in turn tossed the money. Each grabbed their respective rewards and looked up. Pleasure doing business with you, they said to him. Orochimaru smiled. Oh I regret to inform you, I am quite the cheater, Orochimaru said as he sent some snakes from his arms and devoured his contractors. Sasuke smiled as he picked up the money. Now Orochimaru wasn't mean? Sasuke asked. Orochimaru chuckled. Now Sasuke, betrayal is always around when someone least expects it, Orochimaru said oh him. Sasuke nodded. You have a point, now take me to get some more training, Sasuke ordered. Orochimaru slipped out his tongue and laughed. Very well Sasuke let's go, Orochimaru said as they turned to leave. We will be more than happy to help you with that training, someone said causing the two to turn around. Orochimaru and Sasuke looked to see a 23-year-old woman along with a 19-year-old man across the field. Sasuke smirked. It seems we have eavesdroppers, Sasuke said to Orochimaru. It would seem so, Orochimaru responded. Tsunade and Naruto chuckled. Nice to see you again Sasuke, Naruto said to him. Because of the age difference, Sasuke had no idea who the blonde was. Do I know you? He asked. Tsunade smiled also. How you been doing pedophile? Tsunade asked. Orochimaru seething. I don't know you, hey I am not a pedophile, Orochimaru roared. Naruto shook his head. "Oh, I'm you pissed of the team," Naruto said to her. Tsunade smiled. "I know, and I enjoyed it," she said to him. "I am sure you did," he said to her. Sasuke grumbled. "So who are you two anyway?" Sasuke asked. Both turned to him and smiled. "I am hurt, Sasuke, you don't remember me," Naruto fake cried. "Itachi doesn't remember me," Tsunade said as she fake cried also. Soon both laughed. "Let's give them some hints," Naruto told her. Tsunade nodded. "Remember this, Sasuke, I will be the Hokage someday, believe it," Naruto said to him. Sasuke became wide-eyed. "Oh?" he wondered. Tsunade looked at Orochimaru. "Maybe you remember this, Orochimaru," Tsunade said as she made a fist of chakra. She punched the ground and caused an earthquake. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes. "Tsunade," he said to her. Both smiled. "Bingo, we have a prize for pointing out the obvious, it is your asses getting kicked personally by us," Naruto said to them. Tsunade nodded. "Yes, Naruto-koi, we should do that," Tsunade said to him. Both Orochimaru and Sasuke mouth dropped to the ground hearing those words. "Naruto-koi," they shouted. Tsunade turned to them. "Oh, didn't you know?" She paused and gave Naruto a deep kiss, shocking Orochimaru and Sasuke. "Me and Naruto are engaged," Tsunade said to Orochimaru. Orochimaru snapped out of his daze. "Yeah right, Tsunade, but why are two Konoha shinobi all the way out here?" he asked. Tsunade smirked. "You mean what are two ex-Konoha shinobi doing out here, Orochimaru?" Tsunade corrected him. "Ex?" Sasuke wondered. Naruto nodded. "Yep, see this headband, we are loyal Iwa shinobi," Naruto said to them. "Oh, so what are you doing here, Do, and how did you get so old?" Sasuke asked. Naruto smiled. "Answering those questions in that order, I am here to kick your ass and bring you back to Iwa. Next question, I have to thank Kyuubi-chan for this change," Naruto told him. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. "Too bad age has nothing to do with skill," Sasuke said to him. Naruto nodded. "But it doesn't, but it has nearly everything to do with power," Naruto told him. Orochimaru broke the chat. "So what about you, Tsunade? You call me a pedophile, yet you, a 54-year-old woman, is engaged to a 13-year-old, Orochimaru chuckled. Tsunade shook her head. "That is true, but this isn't a Henjirachi, my mental age is 54, but my physical age is 23, isn't medical ninjutsu the best?" Tsunade said to him. Orochimaru gasped. "Yeah, Orochimaru, I found it before you, the jutsu to eternal life, and only I know it," Tsunade told him. Naruto turned to Sasuke. "Oh, and Sasuke, just so you know, because I have the Kyuubi's chakra like this, I am now immortal, I won't die," Naruto told a shocked Sasuke. Naruto and Tsunade sighed. "Well, shall we begin this reunion, Naruto-koi?" Tsunade asked. Naruto smiled. "Whenever you're ready, Tsunade-hime," Naruto said to her. Both charged Orochimaru and Sasuke as the two snapped out of their thinking and got ready for a fight. Tsunade took out a kunai as did Naruto. Orochimaru took out his sword as did Sasuke. Naruto co-lead with Sasuke and Tsunade co-lead with Orochimaru. "Sasuke, now I am going to show you why you should have killed me back in Final Valley," Naruto said to him. Tsunade looked at Orochimaru. "I am going to show you why you should mess with me or Iwa, Orochimaru," Tsunade said to Orochimaru. The ground shook as Sannin vs Sannin and Genin vs Genin matched each other. Plains outside Kumo. The thunderous sounds of clashes could be heard as two Sannin and their Genin companions engaged in a fierce battle in the plains. Tsunade slammed her kunai into Orochimaru's sword. Orochimaru blocked the attack as he slid back for the sheer power of the force that Tsunade packed into her weapon. "Still as strong as ever, Tsunade," Orochimaru said as he tried to withstand her attack. Tsunade chuckled as she pushed harder against his sword. "Of course I am, I don't slack, Itachi," Tsunade said to him. Orochimaru chuckled as he jumped back. Tsunade smiled as she ran back at him with her fist blazing with chakra. Tsunade moved too fast for Orochimaru to see as slammed him in the face. Tsunade sent Orochimaru's body into a nearby tree as she saw his body on the ground. Tsunade chuckled as she saw the body deteriorate into small snakes. "Snake clone," Tsunade said as her eyes lit up. Orochimaru appeared behind her as he swung his sword at her neck. Tsunade pivoted her foot and sidestepped Orochimaru, managing to dodge his weapon. Tsunade brought her heel into his side as she launched him into the air. Orochimaru chuckled as he backflipped and landed on his feet. "Not bad, Tsunade, much better than the last time," Orochimaru said to her. Tsunade smiled as her fist glowed with more chakra. "Of course I am better than last time, now there are no doubts in my mind, I can concentrate fully on kicking your ass," Tsunade said to him. Orochimaru held out his hands and arched his back in laughter. He soon straightened up and smiled. "And how can you hit me from that distance?" Orochimaru teased. Tsunade sighed. Who said anything about hitting you directly? Tsunade told him. Orochimaru's eyes widened as Tsunade punched the ground. Orochimaru saw a line cross his path in the dirt. Tsunade smiled as she put both hands into the space. Tsunade breathed easily. Okay, let's try it, Tsunade said as she pulled her hands apart as they gripped the earth. Orochimaru gasped as the line that crossed him opened to form a giant gorge in the ground. Orochimaru fell into the gorge as he saw Tsunade smirk at him. Got to act fast, Orochimaru said as he formed a hand sign. Tsunade smiled as she pumped more chakra into her hands. Tsunade pushed herself as she tried to close the gorge with her hands. Oten. Nixu no Kei Earth style. Division of the new earth, Tsunade said as she completely closed the gorge tight. Tsunade smiled as she saw the plains with no Orochimaru. Okay, how long will it take him to get out of there? Tsunade wondered as waited for her snake friend to resurface. No way that jutsu would be the death of him. It would be nice if it did, but oh well, Tsunade said as she waited. Tsunade's mind wandered to her fiancé. I wonder how Naruto Koi is doing with his dance partner, Tsunade said to herself. Soon the ground shook violently as Tsunade snapped out of her thoughts. It seems I was right. You really don't go down easily. That's right, get back up here so I can kiss more of your snake-loving ass, Tsunade said as she saw a giant snake come out of the ground with Orochimaru on its head. Tsunade smiled. So we are bringing summons into this huh? Well, you will have to wait for me to do that, Tsunade said as she ran at Orochimaru. But Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke and Naruto were exchanging blows as they skidded away from each other. Both smirked as they looked at the other. Well dope, it seems you got better, Sasuke told him. Naruto smirked. Seeing as how I can kiss your ass now, are you sure you aren't the dope here? Naruto asked. Sasuke's eyes narrowed at the insult. You will always be the dope, Naruto. You can't beat me, Sasuke said to him. Naruto laughed at his insult. It all depends how you view the world. You see, from the world's view you will always be the strongest between us, but you and me know the truth. You know I can beat you, Naruto said to him. Sasuke gritted his teeth. Then prove it, dope, he said as he charged Naruto. Naruto sighed as he took out his kunai again. Naruto produced a strong current of wind chakra through the blade as the sharpness increased. Both clashed their weapons as they stared in each other's eyes. Both Sasuke struggled for supremacy but was overcome by Naruto's strength. Naruto pushed Sasuke off his blade as he kicked Sasuke back. Sasuke gripped his stomach as he felt the power in Naruto's kick. Damn you dope, Sasuke shouted in his thoughts. Sasuke did his hand signs as he opened his mouth. Pain. Hasenka no Jutsu, Sasuke said as he shot multiple fire bullets at Naruto. Naruto ran at the bullets as he tried to dodge each one. Naruto soon closed the gap between him and Sasuke. Naruto smiled. Fuiten Mshuku Saretike's no Suraisu wind style. Concentrated wind slice, Naruto said as he swung his kunai at Sasuke. Sasuke managed to dodge the blow as he ducked under the blade. Sasuke felt a burst of wind pass him as Naruto flipped back. Sasuke smiled. What kind of jutsu is that, dope? Sasuke asked with a grin. Naruto shook his head in disappointment. He pointed past Sasuke. Sasuke turned around as his eyes widened. Sasuke saw all the trees and even a large piece of the mountain behind them, like they had been cut through like they were nothing. Sasuke gasped as he realized he could have died from the jutsu if he didn't duck. However, his pride wouldn't allow him to say that. HMPH, the dope just got lucky, Sasuke said as he writhed in pain. He turned around to see Naruto kick him into the air. Naruto smiled. Stay focused on the fight, Sasuke, Naruto said as he disappeared. Sasuke glanced to his right and left but didn't see Naruto. He suddenly looked up to see Naruto high in the air. Naruto came down with his kunai blazing with wind chakra. Fuiten. Kizenokami, no HA wind style. Blade of the wind god, Naruto said as he brought his kunai down. Sasuke twisted his body as he barely dodged the blade of wind as Naruto crashed into the ground as dust hit his presence. Sasuke landed away from Naruto as he activated his Sharingan. Now I can follow the dope's movements and copy his jutsu, Sasuke said as they waited for the dust to settle. As the dust vanished, Sasuke looked to see that Naruto was gone and only a giant line was formed from his last attack. Sasuke looked around quickly. Damn, where is he? Sasuke wondered. Sasuke felt a slash across his body as he saw blood drip from his shoulder. Blood? Sasuke wondered as he got another cut. Sasuke looked around but didn't see anything in the field. Sasuke moved his eyes around faster to find Naruto but couldn't. Sasuke felt another cut hit his body as he saw white streaks of light pass him. What jutsu is this? Sasuke wondered. Naruto smiled. This is one of my original jutsu, Naruto said to him. As he appeared in front of Sasuke, Sasuke jumped back and threw a kunai at Naruto. Naruto smiled as he disappeared before the kunai hit the mark. Naruto smiled as he passed Sasuke's body again as he gave him another cut. Sasuke cursed at his inability to follow Naruto's movements. Don't worry Sasuke, even with your Sharingan you can't follow this, let's just saw I am as still as the air you breathe, Naruto said to him. Sasuke continued to look around, but still couldn't find Naruto. Naruto smiled as he added more chakra to his feet. Naruto disappeared as he cut Sasuke again and disappeared, but he soon came back with another cut and one after that. The time he took to get Sasuke was shortening as he continued his assault. Sasuke's body was covered in cut marks as his eyes flared up in anger. Enough, Sasuke yelled as lighting coursed through his body. Soon the lighting cackled all over his body. Dodori Nagashi, Sasuke said as his lighting cackled around his open space. Naruto smiled. You seem to forget that wind is strong against lightning, not that it matters now, Naruto said as he charged Sasuke one more time. Fueton. Shizukana K's no Surashu wind style. Slash of silent wind, Naruto said as passed Sasuke's lighting current and delivered a final slash of wind to Sasuke's side. Sasuke fell to the ground in pain as he gripped his side. He felt some of his blood seep out of his side as it stained the grass. Still wanna continue Sasuke? Naruto asked. Sasuke clutched the group. I will kill you, to die by you is not my destiny, the fact that my blood was spilled by you is appalling, I will kill you dope, Sasuke yelled in his thoughts. Soon his curse mark enveloped his body. Sasuke's skin turned dark, his hair grew longer, and out his back came his wings. Naruto smiled. So finally using the curse mark? Naruto asked. Sasuke grinned. You stand no chance against me now dope, Sasuke said to him. I am still more special than you, Sasuke told him. Naruto smiled he entered his thoughts. Say Hina-chan, may I have some of your chakra? Naruto asked his Biju. Hina sat in the field of flowers as she smiled. Why yes Naru-kun, have some and kick the emo's ass, Hina said to him. Naruto nodded. Thank you Hina-chan, Naruto said as his Kyuubi coat formed around him. The coat covered Naruto's body as his eyes turned to slits, his whiskers became more visible, and his teeth became more sharp. Soon a tail of red chakra swayed behind him. Well Sasuke, back where we started, only this time, you emo ass is getting kicked, Naruto told him. Sasuke grinned. Bring a dope, Sasuke said to him. Both charged the other as the collide causing a big explosion. But Tsunade and Orochimaru. Both Sannin were breathing quite hard as they both had the cuts and bruises to be a little tired. Orochimaru smiled as he looked at Tsunade huffing a little. Getting tired Tsunade? Orochimaru asked. Tsunade smiled. As she channeled chakra to her feet and sped in front of him. Not in the least, I don't know about you, but I feel like I could conquer the world right now, Tsunade said as she punched Orochimaru in the face, sending him into a nearby tree. Orochimaru gasped as he landed off the tree. How can she have so much power after so much fighting, I am almost at my limit and yet she doesn't even look winded, Orochimaru said to himself. Tsunade instantly appeared in front of Orochimaru and smiled. If you're wondering why I am not tired like you, it is because of my jutsu here, it also minimizes fatigue. Oh isn't medical ninjutsu fascinating? Tsunade said as she brushed her hand through her blonde hair. Orochimaru seethed. I guess we take this to the big league, Orochimaru said as he bit his thumb. Tsunade smiled as she backed up she also bit her thumb. But Naruto and Sasuke. Both were downright even as Sasuke's futile attempts at hitting Naruto ended in his despair. Naruto smiled as he knew he was still holding much back. Sasuke decided to take this fight further. Time to use it, he said to himself as he bit his thumb. Naruto smiled as he saw what Sasuke did. Oh we're taking it there huh Sasuke, Naruto said as he bit his thumb. All four people bit their thumbs and placed them on the ground and yelled. Fuchius no jutsu, they all yelled as smoke enveloped the entire area. Orochimaru stood on Manda. Tsunade stood on Katsuyu. Naruto stood on Gamabunta and Sasuke stood on a hawk named Karaki. Tsunade turned to see Naruto on Gamabunta. She yelled for him. Oh Naruto-koi you thought about the summoning jutsu also, Tsunade yelled. Naruto chuckled. Great minds think alike, Naruto told her. Both smiled as they turned back to their respective fights. Now Orochimaru, Tsunade said. Now Sasuke, Naruto said. Both faces lit up as they charged them. Prepare to have your ass handed to you, they both said. Tsunade smiled. Katsuyu let's get started, Tsunade told her summon. Yes Tsunade-sama, Katsuyu answered. Tsunade jumped off Katsuyu and got started. Meanwhile Orochimaru was speaking with his summon. What is it now Orochimaru? Manda asked. Orochimaru smiled. I would like you to deal with a troublesome Sannin, Orochimaru said, pointing to it Tsunade. Manda sighed. Her again? He asked. Orochimaru nodded. Manda sighed again. You owe me 10,000 human sacrifices this time, Manda ordered. Orochimaru nodded. Time to get started, Manda said to Orochimaru. Orochimaru began. Tsunade began. Manda. Kitsayu. Manda DAIBUNRETSU Snake Great Division. Kitsayu DAIBUNRETSU Slug Great Division. They both yelled as their summons did as they wanted. Both digressed into smaller clones of themselves and shot themselves forward at the other. Soon they both collated battle for supremacy as they pushed each other in a clash. Kitsayu managed to overpower Manda as she slammed into him, covering him in her smaller clones. Manda swayed as he managed to shake her off him. HMPH still the little firecracker, Kitsayu? Manda asked. I will serve my summoner, you won't beat me, Manda, Kitsayu answered. Tsunade smiled. Nicely said, Kitsayu, now let's continue, Tsunade said to her. Kitsayu nodded. Manda shot forward at an attempt to get Tsunade. Tsunade smirked. SENENSAN acid slime, Tsunade called out. Kitsayu nodded as she brought her head back and unleashed a ball of acidic slime at Manda. Manda easily swayed around it and continued at full speed towards Tsunade. Tsunade was about to attack when a voice called out to her. Time get back, said the voice. Tsunade backflipped as she saw Naruto landed in front of her with Gamabunta. Tsunade smiled. My prince is here, Tsunade said to herself. Tsunade looked over to where Naruto previously was to see an unconscious Sasuke on the ground. Tsunade chuckled at the sight. She turned back to see Naruto do some hand signs. Gamabunta, give me a lot of water, Naruto told him. Gamabunta nodded. Right Gaki, he said as he filled his stomach with water. Naruto smiled as he finished his hand signs. Before Gamabunta shot his water out, Naruto said his jutsu. Fuetin. K's no ATSURYOKU wind, style. Wind pressure blast, Naruto yelled as he blew fierce wind from his mouth as it coalesced with Bunta's water. The wind cooled the water as it turned to ice. The ice shot forward as it hit Manda and sent him flying into the plains with a loud crash. Naruto smiled as he looked at Tsunade. You alright, Haim? He asked. Tsunade smiled. Just peachy fox-sama, Tsunade said to him. Naruto nodded as he turned back to Manda and Orochimaru. Manda was freezing as his body was covered in ice. Orochimaru cursed. Damn it, that brat knew Manda is a reptile, and reptiles don't do well against the cold, Orochimaru said. Manda cursed also. Damn Gaki, Orochimaru, you're on your own, I need to get some heat back, Manda said as he vanished. Orochimaru seethed. To think these two would be so much trouble, I have to go, I am low on chakra, oh well, I found a more suitable body than the Uchiha, Orochimaru said as he vanished. Naruto sighed as he saw Orochimaru leave. Gamabunta, you can go back, thank you, Naruto told him. Gamabunta nodded. Sure kid, I had fun, he said as he left. Kitsayu left also. Tsunade walked up to Naruto. Thanks for the save, Naruto koi, Tsunade said as she gave him a quick kiss. Naruto blushed. All in a day's work, Haim, now let's get out arrogant captive to Iwa, Naruto said to her. Tsunade nodded. Both went to get the unconscious Uchiha as they tied him up and put a chakra restriction seal on him. Naruto and Tsunade walked off. You know, I heard Orochimaru, apparently my body is more interesting than Sasuke's, Naruto said to her. Tsunade laughed. I would like to see him try and take it, that body is mine, Tsunade said to him. Naruto nodded as they two ran back to Iwa. Wouldn't have it any other way, Haim, Naruto thought to himself. Order of Kumo. Naruto and Tsunade were running back to Iwa with an unconscious Uchiha over Naruto's back. As they ran through the trees, Naruto decided to start a conversation. So Haim, what are you going to do when we get back? He asked. Tsunade turned to him and smiled. I am planning to take a nice long soak with my fox-sama, Tsunade told him. Naruto blushed as they rushed through the foliage. I think you would like that a lot, he said with a smile. Tsunade nodded her head. I was hoping he would, Tsunade said to him. Naruto looked back to look at Sasuke's face. It feels ironic. If I was still in Konoha, I would be so happy to know I have him now, but I feel happy to take him to Iwa, Naruto said to her. Tsunade nodded. To her it seemed that ever since they left Konoha, Naruto had been much more cheery. He was able to express himself more than ever. Tsunade always smiled when she looked to see his heartwarming smiles. As they passed the borderline of Kumo and entered Iwa territory, both soon began to pick up the pace. As they ran through the trees, Naruto felt a nudge on his back. He turned to see his former friend waking up. Oh, so the emo king graces us with his presence, Naruto said. Tsunade laughed at the joke as Sasuke checked his surroundings. Shut up, dope. I take it I got caught? Sasuke asked. Tsunade face-palmed herself. No, Naruto is just carrying you because he misses you so much, Tsunade said sarcastically. Sasuke muttered something about damn blondes that made Tsunade form a tick mark on her head. What was that, Sasuke? Tsunade asked as she lifted a finger and destroyed a tree with it. Sasuke's eyes widened as he felt regret for insulting a Sannin. Nothing, sorry, he said to them. Tsunade smiled as she put her hand down. Sasuke squirmed a little, but couldn't get free. He looked to his hands tied up and a chakra restriction seal on his body. Sasuke sighed as he looked up at Naruto's headband. Sasuke grew a confused look. You know, now that we can talk, can I ask why you are wearing an Iwa headband anyway? Sasuke asked. Naruto and Tsunade looked at each other and smiled. Well, you see, it went like this, Naruto said as he told Sasuke the thrilling story. He told Sasuke about how he was hated for not bringing him back. How he resigned as a Konoha shinobi. How he and Tsunade felt the village and everything else leading up to this point. Sasuke's mouth hanged for a while. Damn dope, you really got the short end of the stick, Sasuke said with a smirk. Naruto laughed. Yeah, maybe, but I have no regrets. I have a wonderful fiancé because of that day, Naruto said to him, then turned to Tsunade. Tsunade blushed, then added a smile to the mix. Tsunade turned to him. Thank you for the kind words, Naruto-koi, Tsunade told him. Sasuke looked to his right to see the blonde woman. Do I even want to know? He asked. Naruto smiled. That all depends on you, he said as they all arrived at the gates of Iwa. Both gave the guards their identification and went into the village. As the two walked through the village, they saw people staring at them with smiles on their faces. Why is everyone staring at us? Naruto asked. Tsunade shrugged her shoulders. Not me, she said to him. Both walked to the Tsuchikage mansion as they went to report the mission. Sasuke, though tied up, marveled at the structure of the village. Everything looked so different from Konoha. As everyone entered the building, Naruto dropped Sasuke on the floor in front of Inoki. Here you go, Oji-san, one uchiha hold the Orochimaru, Naruto said, sounding like he was placing an order. Inoki showed a rare laugh at Naruto's antics as he nodded. Nice job, Tsunade. Naruto, you will be paid for your mission, now what to do with this one, Inoki wondered. Sasuke waited in anticipation of his sentence as everyone thought. Naruto smiled as he looked at a nervous Sasuke. Say, Oji-san, do you know what the kra is? Naruto asked. Inoki shook his head. Tsunade looked at Naruto, smiled. Oh, Naruto, isn't that a little harsh for the uchiha? Tsunade asked. Naruto nodded. I am not sure, but I don't think so, Haim, Naruto told her. Tsunade laughed as Inoki looked at them. So what is the kra? He asked, interested in what Naruto had to say. Naruto stopped laughing and looked at Inoki. It is similar to what you tried to do with me in the engagement. It requires a man to take multiple wives so that they can mother the man's children and restore the clan, Naruto told Inoki. Inoki's face lit up in anticipation of have the Uchiha clan in his village. Sasuke looked at the three smiling faces. Do I get a say in this? He asked. No. They yelled. Sasuke comically cried at the thought of being with too many girls. Inoki nodded. Alright, I will enact that on the Uchiha, but where will he live? Inoki asked. Naruto sighed. Well, he isn't going anywhere with that chakra restriction seal I have on him, so I guess he can live with us, Naruto said to Inoki. Inoki nodded as Naruto untied Sasuke's ropes and Sasuke stood up. Everyone walked out the door, but Sasuke brought them back. Can I at least choose who I date? He asked. Everyone looked at each other and thought for a while. Soon everyone nodded at each other and smiled. Very well, Sasuke, you can choose, but you must have at least one girl by 2 weeks, Inoki told him. Sasuke sighed, but nodded. All I want is to train to beat my brother, but now I have to date also. Sasuke thought as he walked out. Naruto and Tsunade followed suit. They weren't sure how anyone at home was going to take the news of Sasuke being back. As they roamed the village, Sasuke took the moment to look around. So what is the training like here? He asked. Naruto sighed. Always training with you, oh well, that is one of the things I am glad didn't change about you, Naruto thought. Tsunade decided to answer. That training here is a lot more intense than Konoha's. It's no wonder we didn't want to go to war with him, Tsunade said to a smiling Uchiha. This might be fun, Sasuke thought. Tsunade sighed as she heard the Uchiha's comment. I can only wonder what is going to happen in the next few days, Tsunade thought as the group of 3 came up to the house. Naruto opened the door as he looked inside. We're home, he yelled. Soon some people poked their heads out of a few rooms. Kiba smiled as he looked out. Welcome home, Naruto, Tsunade, and Kiba's eyes widened as he looked at a raven-haired boy wearing the Sound Ninja 4's uniform. Sasuke! Kiba yelled. He ran up to the Uchiha as he took a whiff. Yep, it's the real thing, Kiba said as he ran through the house. Everyone, they are back and we have an unexpected guest, Kiba yelled. Soon grumbling people made their presence known. You don't have to yell, Kiba, Shikamaru said with a yawn. He was soon followed by Temari, Gaara, Hinata, and Ino. As everyone came into the room, everyone said their hellos to Naruto and Tsunade. "So who is that guest that we have?" Gaara asked. Naruto smiled. "Presenting the traitor of Konoha, the king of emos, the pinnacle of seriousness Sasuke Uchiha," Naruto yelled. Sasuke walked in, making everyone widen their eyes. Sasuke grew vain at Naruto's introduction. "I am not an emo," Sasuke yelled. Naruto smiled. "Could have fooled me," Naruto said to him. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. "Oh," Sasuke said in a serious tone. Naruto smiled. "Come on Sasuke, you want a repeat of last time?" Naruto asked him. Sasuke's face turned red from embarrassment as he looked away in shame. Naruto smiled. "I thought so," Naruto told him. Everyone was still confused, so Tsunade decided to elaborate. She told them all about the mission and the details of the fight with Orochimaru and Sasuke. Soon she looked around to see some people missing. "Hey, where is everyone else?" Tsunade asked. Temari decided to answer. "Neji, Lee, and Tenten are on a mission with Jiraiya. Shizune is at Iwa's hospital. Choji, Kankuro, and Shino are eating out, then training," Temari explained. Tsunade nodded as she understood. Soon she took off her gear and laid on the couch. "Man, I am tired," Tsunade said to them. Everyone laughed as they saw her lazy nature. Naruto took off his clothes also. He had a twinkle in his eye as he walked over to Tsunade. Naruto smiled as he gently picked up Tsunade and carried her out of the room. Naruto winked at everyone as he left. Everyone sweat dropped as they saw him leave. Sasuke decided to speak. "So is that official?" he asked them. Everyone looked at him and nodded. "Yes. Yes it is," Gaara told him. Sasuke sighed as he decided to go to sleep. Naruto took Tsunade into the room and laid her on the futon. Naruto tucked her in as he kissed her cheek. "Sleep well, Haim," Naruto said as he turned to leave. He was suddenly stopped by a hand on his arm and suddenly fell on top of his fiancée. "You can't leave. Fighting Itachi gave me lots of stress. Won't you help me, Fox-sama?" Tsunade asked in a sexy voice. Naruto stuttered to respond but couldn't. He smiled as he nodded. He kissed his fiancée as he laid her back on the bed. 3 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade left the room in a good mood as they entered the living room. They smiled as they saw the scattered remains of their friend's souls on the ground. They laughed as they sat on the couch waiting for everyone to wake up. 20 minutes later. Everyone was starting to get up as they looked at the smiling pair. "You know what, you are both too troublesome," Shikamaru said to them. Now Shika, no need to get heated," Naruto told him. Shikamaru sighed as he left the room. Soon as everyone tried to go about their business, Jiraiya came through the door in a hurry. "Everyone to the Tsuchikage's mansion, he has something he wants to tell us," Jiraiya said as he left. Everyone sighed as they got up and went to the mansion. Tsuchikage mansion. Everyone filled the office as they waited for Inoki to give them his message. Inoki sighed as he looked at them. He didn't know if this news would be good or bad, but he had to tell them. "Everyone, I have called you here because this really concerns you all," Inoki told them. Everyone calmed down so they could hear. Neji decided to talk. "What is it, Tsuchikage-sama?" he asked. Inoki took a deep breath as he looked at them. "I have come to report that as of today we are going to war with Konoha," Inoki told them. Tsuchikage mansion. Everyone stood in shock as they tried to fathom what Inoki just told them. He just told them that Iwa was at war with Konoha. To say everyone was shocked was an understatement. "Tsuchikage-sama, is this a joke?" Tenten asked him. Inoki put his head down and shook his head. "No, it isn't, Tenten-san, we are going to war with Konoha," Inoki told them. Tsunade snapped out of her daze and looked at Inoki. "But why?" she asked him. Inoki sighed. "It seems the Konoha has been raising some of the countries near the Iwa border, and I can't allow this insolence to continue," Inoki said to them with a serious voice. Everyone dropped their heads as they looked at the ground. Inoki could see it would be painful for them to fight their own village, but he had to tell them for their own good. Naruto looked up to see everyone's doubt and sorrow. "Hey Jiji," Naruto said to him. Inoki turned to Naruto as did everyone else. "Yes, Naruto-san?" he asked. Naruto breathed. "Can we bring back people we consider to be good people?" Naruto asked him. Inoki pondered his question. Everyone smiled as they saw where Naruto was going with his question. Tsunade had to smile at her fiancé's thinking. "That is why I love you, Naruto-koi," Tsunade said in her thoughts. Jiraiya mentally laughed at his pupil's nice personality. "Only you would think about saving people in a war," Jiraiya said in his thoughts. Inoki smiled. "Very well, if you can convince people to leave Konoha and reside here I will let them," Inoki said to him. Naruto smiled and nodded. "Thank you Jiji," Naruto said as the group walked out the room. Because of Naruto the mood was a bit better for everyone. As they all walked outside, everyone went back to the house. "So we are really going to fight Konoha?" Ino asked with the fear of facing her family. Tsunade nodded. I don't think Kanoki would lie about this, I wonder why though. Tsunade said to the group. Everyone thought about it also. What reason would Konoha have to go to war with Iwa? Suddenly it hit Shikamaru. You think his has to do with Danzo being Hokage? He asked. Tsunade's eyes lit up. Oh, that explains it, that old warhorse will look for any reason to go to war if he knew he could win, Tsunade said to them. Everyone nodded as they entered the compound to see Sasuke on the mat sleeping. Is he joining us also? Hinata asked. Tsunade sighed. I don't know, but I presume he might, she answered. Everyone nodded as they decided to go about their day. As everyone lounges around the house, Naruto decides to go outside and train. Well, if we are going to fight Konoha, I might as well sharpen my skills, Naruto said to himself. Soon he walked to the training area as he saw two people fighting. Naruto stopped to admire the fighting as he smiled. Even Hina had something to say. While numbers 4 and 5 are here, Hina said in the field. Naruto quirked an eyebrow. 4 and 5? He asked. Hina laughed. Yanbi and Gobi, Hina told Naruto. Naruto gasped at what she said to him. You're telling me they are Jinchuriki also? He asked. Hina mentally nodded. That's right, Naruto-kun, they were always a handful when we were kids, Hina told him. Naruto smiled as he went down to the training area. Soon both combatants were alerted to the presence of another Biju thanks to their own. Hey idiot, I think one of my childhood friends is coming, Yanbi said to him. The man looked up to see the blonde ninja coming down. How many times do I have to tell you that my name is Rashi, the man told his Biju. I couldn't care less, you are just a miserable human in my eyes, Yanbi told him. Rashi sighed. And yet people say we descended from you apes, Rashi said with a laugh. Yanbi narrowed his eyes. Shut up, he said to Rashi. Rashi laughed as he waited for the blonde to come. But the other Jinchuriki. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen her in forever, I wonder how much she has changed, Gobi said to his jailer. The man covered most of his face in armor with steam coming out of it as he turned to see the blonde shinobi. You know that person? He asked. Why yes I do Han, she was always a rowdy person, Gobi said with a smile. Han shook his head. Well this will be interesting, Han said with an unseen smile. As Naruto came down to meet the two he stopped to gaze at them as they gazed at him. Breaking the gaze, Rashi decided to speak. Hey kid, he said to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he looked at him. Hello number 4, Naruto said to him. Han laughed as Rashi quirked an eyebrow. Why am I going to find this kid annoying? Rashi wondered. Naruto turned to see the other man laughing. And you are number 5, Naruto said to him. Han stopped laughing to look at Naruto. Yeah I am, hey kid, I am Han the Jinchuriki of the Gobi, he said to the blonde. Naruto nodded. Rashi coughed. I am Rashi, the Jinchuriki of the Yanbi, he said to him. Naruto smiled. Hello, I am Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki and friend of the Kyuubi no Yoko aka Hina-chan, Naruto said to them. Both were surprised. You know your Bijuu's name? Rashi asked. Naruto nodded. Yeah she let me know her name, here I will get her, Naruto said as he bit his thumb. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled as another clone came out. So this guy knows the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Rashi said. Naruto then pressed the seal on his stomach. Uchiha no Jutsu, he yelled. Soon the seal began to twist as a result, then smoke appeared around it. After the smoke cleared, out came a beautiful red-haired woman in a red and black kimono with a bracelet on her arm that said seal. Hina smiled as she breathed the fresh air. Ah, it feels good to stretch, thank you Naruto-kun, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled with a nod. You're very welcome Hina-chan, he told her. Meanwhile, Rashi and Han were speechless. Both had their mouths hanging in the air as they saw the Kyuubi no Yoko out in the open. They couldn't believe that their Biju could roam on the outside while still being attached to them. Needless to say, their Biju were going frantic also. Hey Rashi, can you get the kid to teach that to you? I want to be outside also, Yanbi begged. Rashi smiled. So now you use my name? He asked. Yanbi looked apologetic. I am sorry I was too mean, please get him to teach that to you, Yanbi begged again. Rashi sighed, but nodded. Anything for you I guess, he said to his Biju. Yanbi was jumping up and down in his cage with excitement. Rashi mentally laughed. But Han. And you have to get that kid to teach you what he did, please, I want to see Hina again, Gobi begged. Han thought about it. I am not sure, he said. Gobi was on its knees, or rather paws, begging for Han to let it go outside. After a few minutes of asking, Han said okay. Gobi thanked him as it swirled around in its cage. Both Rashi and Han stepped forward towards Naruto. Naruto noticed the two with their demanding looks as he smiled. Naruto, do you think you could teach us how you did that? Han asked. Gobi was listening intently on the conversation with eyes full of hope. Rashi nodded with the same question in mind. Naruto smiled as he looked at the two desperate Jinchuriki. I can't believe they never figured this out, Naruto thought. Naruto turned to Hina, who was pleading with her eyes to teach them. With so many pleas at him, Naruto smiled. Well, I can teach you, but it isn't hard to do, all it requires is the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu and the Kuchiyas no Jutsu, Naruto told them. Both Jinchuriki nodded as they made shadow clones. Naruto nodded as he told them to lift up their shirts exposing the seals. Both did so as the seals came into view. Alright, now bite your thumb for the summoning as slitted across your clone seal, and just image your Biju into your mind when you do it, Naruto told them. Both nodded as they bit their thumbs and ran the blood across the seal. Soon the clones poofed and there stood Roshi and Han's Biju in their human forms. Roshi stared at the man who was his Biju. The man was wearing a red mail kimono that covered his body. The man was a little on the chubby side, but not enough to be considered fat. He had a sword on his waist, and his skin was quite dark. Yonbi looked around and smiled. Hooray, I am outside. Yonbi yelled. Roshi was smiling as he looked at his Biju run around and use his legs. Naruto smiled as he turned to Han, who was also staring at his Biju. Oh my god. Han said to himself. Gobi smiled as it looked at its form. Gobi was clearly a woman with white hair that ran past her shoulders. She wore a white kimono with a flower design on it. Her body was quite lean as it showed her curves and her D-cup breasts. Han, to say the least, fainted from her beauty. Gobi smiled at her staring partner. You like what you see, Han? Gobi asked. Han easily nodded his head as he was still mesmerized. Naruto sighed as he snapped Han out of his daze. Hello Han-san, are you alive? Naruto asked. Han woke up and blushed as he looked at Gobi. Gobi? He asked. Gobi looked at him with a smile. Yes Han? She asked. Han breathed as he asked his question. Would you tell me your name? He asked her. Gobi looked at him and smiled. It was obvious Han and Gobi had more than the Jinchuriki Biju relationship. Gobi smiled as she thought over his request. Alright, I don't mind, as long as you take me to dinner later, she said to him. Han nodded fast to her. Gobi smiled as she decided to answer. My name is Kairi, she told him. Han smiled as he looked at her. Kairi-san, huh? Han said to her. Kairi smiled with a nod. That's right Han-san, now you owe me a date, she said with a wink. Han turned to Naruto and comically cried. Thank you Naruto-san, Han said to him. Naruto smiled as he nodded. Sure Han, it's all good, Naruto told him. He soon turned to see Roshi and Yonbi talking to each other. So are you really that happy to be outside? Roshi asked. Yonbi eagerly nodded. Yes I am Roshi, thank you, Yonbi told him. Roshi looked shocked. Man you really are being friendly now, Roshi said to him. Yonbi laughed. Hey being in a cage for 45 years does that to a Biju person, Yonbi said with a laugh. Roshi sighed as he looked at Yonbi. Hey Yonbi, Roshi called. Yonbi turned around. Yes? He asked. Roshi looked at him. Will you tell me your name? Roshi asked. Yonbi looked at him and smiled. Sure, I don't mind. My name is Raymond, he told him. Roshi smiled. Raymond huh? He said to him. Yep, he said to Roshi. Roshi nodded as he turned to Naruto. Thank you kid, this was a great help, Roshi told Naruto. Naruto smiled as he turned to the man. I am glad to help, Naruto told them. As everyone came into a group, Naruto decided to speak. So do you guys know about the upcoming war with Konoha? Naruto asked. Both men nodded. Yeah, I was shocked at first, but Konoha is becoming more warlike, I guess we have no choice, Roshi said to them. Han nodded and so did Naruto. Naruto turned to Hina and smiled. Well Hina-chan, you and your friends can talk. Me, Han, and Roshi have training to do, Naruto told her. Hina smiled along with a nod. Alright Naruto-kun, later, she said as she, Kairi, and Raymond walked off to a more secluded spot of the training grounds. After they left, Roshi and Han turned back to Naruto. What training? They asked. Naruto smiled as he made a shadow clone. Why training for the war? You didn't think I wouldn't get something in return for that favor did you? Naruto told them as he charged at them. Han and Roshi smiled as they assumed their fighting stances. Bring it Naruto, they said as Naruto and his clone charged the two Jinchuriki. But Hina, Kairi, and Raymond. As everyone sat down in a secluded spot, they all decided to talk. I haven't seen you two since we were little, Hina said to them. Both smiled with a nod. Must have been like some 900 years ago, Kairi said to them. So Kairi tell us, what is it like to date a human? Raymond asked. Kairi blushed as she looked down. It feels great to me, I haven't loved anyone this much, I am thinking about training him to be a Hanyu, so he can stay with me, Kairi said with a smile. Hina and Raymond smirked as they looked at her. Oh brother Raimi not related, just endearment, it seems that lil sis Kairi has found her special person, Hina said with a smile. I do believe you are right big sister Hina, Raymond said to her. Kairi blushed as she turned to them. What about you, Hina? I am sure you like someone also, Kairi defended. Hina looked at her and blushed. Well, I do like him, but it wouldn't work out, Hina said to them. Both looked at each other, then back to Hina. Why not? What is the problem? They asked her. Hina sighed. He is engaged, and I am not sure his fiancée would mind sharing him, Hina told them. Raymond and Kairi looked at each other, then looked back at her. Well, Hina, I am sure he wouldn't mind sharing, but if it is his fiancée, then just convince her. I am sure if you speak from your heart she might share, Kairi said to her. Raymond nodded. At the very least you should tell him your feelings, it will stop you from going insane anyway, Raymond told her. Hina sighed, but nodded. I think you're right, she said to them. Raymond suddenly formed a smirk. So who is this person, have we met them? He asked. Kairi nodded, wanting to know the information also. Hina smiled as she looked at them. Well, you have met him, but it wasn't that long ago, it was like 8 minutes ago, she said to them. Both had blank faces as they thought. Suddenly they turned to see Naruto, Han, and Rashi training. They blinked then looked back at Hina. You like the blonde? Raymond asked. Hina nodded. Yes I do, she said to them. Kairi licked her lips. I don't blame you, Hina, that body is quite nice, if I wasn't dating Han, I would totally take that him, Kairi said to her. Hina smiled. It's not just his body, but it's his personality and his spirit, I like it all about him, Hina said to them. Raymond whistled and Kairi smirked. Well, you better confess to him, even if he is engaged, it is better than nothing, Kairi said to her. Hina sighed as she looked at Naruto and his training. You just had to worm your way into my heart, didn't you, Naruto-kun? Hina thought. That is why you are the strangest ninja I have met, but I don't hate that about you. I have actually come to enjoy it, Hina said in her thoughts. Alright, I will tell him, but I can't say I am expecting anything, Hina said to herself. Hina got up as she walked over to Naruto and his group, who were training. Naruto? Hina said to him. Naruto looked up as he saw Hina. Yes, Hina-chan? He asked her. Hina blushed as she looked at him. Can I talk to you tonight about something? She asked. Naruto looked at her and nodded. Sure, Hina, how about at 8 tonight? Naruto asked her. Hina nodded. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she said as she walked away. Naruto smiled as he, Han, and Rashi resumed their fight. Hina sat back down with her friends. Things are going to get saucy later, Raymond said to Kairi. Kairi nodded. I can't wait for the result, though I am hoping for a good one, Kairi said to him. Raymond nodded in agreement. As Hina walked back to the group, the two saw her face red as steam came out. Come on, Hina, are you really that nervous? Raymond looked at him. I am, I just said I wanted to talk to him and I feel like my heart exploded, Hina said to them. Both turned to each other and smiled. Oh, tonight is going to be so much fun, they thought as the three Bijuu sat in some shade. The end. So how was this part? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this part with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.